And good Monday morning. It is Monday, August 22nd from the CNET studios in New York City, and we are joined once again by Roger Chang and Ben Fox Rubin for another edition of the 359 podcast. Good morning, guys. What are we talking about today?
Morning. Happy Monday, everyone. We're going to be talking about Apple. Did we put a headline on?
We will, eventually.
We will. All right.
You were in such a hurry. You got to go, so
All
I
right.
just put up the episode number.
All right,
do it.
awesome. Let's do it. We're going to be talking about Apple. It's all Apple today.
It's about Tim Cook's
It's about Tim Cook. It's his
5-year anniversary.
5-year anniversary.
So we're going to do a bit of a follow-up. How has Tim done over the past 5 years?
Yeah, just sort of a report card, hits, misses, what happens in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
So let's get it rolling.
Yeah. Let's
All
make
right.
it happen.
And audio is to speed. Take it away in 3, 2.
Welcome to the 359, where we talk about the top tech news of the day, all the other crap we want to throw in. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
So Tim Cook will celebrate his 5th year anniversary as CEO of Apple on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So we figure it's a good chance to take stock in how he's performed. It's 5 years, a lot of changes. He's definitely a different CEO than Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
But would you say he's better or worse?
Oh, God. That's such a tough question, Roger. We're going to start with that.
Start with the easy one, yes.
Okay. I mean, you're basically forcing me to say that Tim Cook is a worse CEO because Steve Jobs is like one of the greatest, most epic CEOs in American history.
Right.
So, but Tim, do not take that personally, okay?
Well, it's not binary. It's not like he's the worst or he's the best. It's clear at this point, though, that he hasn't really filled Steve Jobs' shoes. I mean, like, no one can really
Huge
follow
shoes.
Steve Jobs at this point.
That
and the
being
legacy that he
said,
left.
he didn't. It's not like he railroaded the company or anything like
No.
that. It's still the most valuable company
It's the most profitable company.
and it's the most profitable
Yeah.
company. So it's very hard to basically knock Apple and say, well, you haven't done this or we haven't done that. But granted, that's exactly what we're going to do on this podcast.
Right.
But he's still continuing to move the ship forward, and he hasn't completely destroyed the company.
Let's get it going. Let's start with the nice stuff. Like,
Yeah.
what has Tim Cook done to better Apple?
So we've said this before on the podcast. The iPhone 6 continues to be like the blockbuster. That was like the high watermark so far for the iPhone, and it just did really, really well.
Right.
They crushed their numbers.
Well,
and
adding the iPhone 6 Plus as well.
absolutely.
Absolutely got people interested again in Apple. And from a social perspective, Tim Cook has definitely helped Apple. I think Apple's more charitable. It's definitely more proactive about environmental causes.
Yeah. LGBT issues as well.
When Tim Cook came out, obviously was a big boost to the LGBT community.
Yeah, and I would say because Apple is Apple, that is a huge platform to be able to be talking about those issues.
Yep.
And Apple is also hugely influential. So when they do talk about environmental issues, not only is the company itself more environmental, but a lot of their suppliers are.
Yes,
so
that's a good point.
that is a huge benefit, I would say. So
And it is
good
important
for
to
you.
note. It's important to note. Steve Jobs he wasn't really big on charity. He thought that paying taxes was good enough.
Seems
so
a little
that's
mean.
a little harsh.
But that's Steve's that was
his
his
MO.
persona.
That's his thing.
That was his persona.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, moving on. The negatives.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you talked about the iPhone. Look, the biggest innovation that Tim Cook introduced with the iPhone is he made it a little bit bigger.
Right.
And, and then he made it a little bit smaller with the SE. And so
These are mostly hardware tweaks that he's done. He
Right.
hasn't really, the biggest thing that he's really introduced as far as a new product has been the Apple Watch. And the story, the jury is still out as to whether that had actually done well.
Do you know anyone with an Apple Watch?
Yeah, I do see them out in the wild more often than I
see
used
them,
to.
but they're not a huge amount. They're not, it's not a blockbuster product by any
No,
means.
it isn't. And it's being rated up against the iPhone. So I feel bad for the Apple Watch in that way.
Well, there was also Beats.
Yeah.
There was Apple Maps.
There are a couple, yeah.
The user
What
interface
have they
for Apple
done with
Music.
Beats? They could still turn that around, I would say.
Yeah, no, but there have been a slew of missteps by Apple under Tim Cook for sure.
Still the most profitable company in the world.
Yes, we have to keep moving that.
Yeah.
And then
So last 20 seconds.
5
What's
years.
the next 5 years?
What's going on in 5 years? How do we sum up 20 seconds in 5 years?
I would love to see what they're going to do in the next 5 years with the iPad and the iPhone. Is it really going to look different, or are they going to keep that iconic design? We'll see.
I mean, I still want to see. It's probably not going to happen, but I still want to see a self-driving car by Apple. That would
we're
be
going
awesome.
to go there? Okay,
That would be awesome. 5 years. Why not, right?
Yeah,
Let's go
absolutely.
crazy. All right. For more about Apple, check us out on CNET. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Ben Fox Rubin.
Thanks for listening.
And that's a cut on the recording. We're
Phew!
gonna have a
Awesome.
very that was
My
a
God.
That was a rushed podcast.
Really-
Do you feel the urgency there?
There was so much urgency. I
There's
had so much more I
there
wanted to
was-
say.
There is a lot more to say. There's a lot more to unpack.
20 seconds of the next 5 years was
know.
pretty exciting.
We apologize for the haste, but Roger does have an important meeting to get to. First of all, just say hi to Akash. He's in India right now, loving the show.
Awesome.
Cool.
Hey, man.
All right. Much appreciated, man.
Really appreciate you checking this out.
Every time we bring up Apple, somebody wants to know more about the camera. Nick.
Okay. That's fine.
Nick's-
The phone camera? The
Yeah,
iPhone
yeah.
camera? Yeah.
Nick says, do you think the iPhone 7's dual camera system will be as good as the Samsung Galaxy 7S or S7 Edge or Note 7?
I mean, we don't
Apples
know.
and oranges.
We don't know.
Yeah, Samsung has been talking a lot about their cameras.
And it did perform well. It was rated well. I mean,
does really well
the
in low light.
the LG
you know.
camera actually also did really well. So and that uses a dual camera system as well.
It's not like the Apple camera is a slouch at all. You know,
Well-
I've taken a lot of like what I thought would be pretty crummy
I
pictures.
feel like the low light setting for that, it's not as good. I mean, it's decent, but it could be better, right? Taking shots in a low light setting is still kind of iffy. You know, you sometimes it comes out grainy or a little dark. You know, it just you're not sure what you're gonna get with those.
I would probably argue that they're going to add a whole other camera into this phone, and this is probably going to be one of the bigger features that they're going to announce to say, go out and buy this thing. So my expectation would be that it would be a significant improvement. Is it going to get them all the way up to where Samsung or LG are? We'll have to do the testing. We'll have to find out.
Apple has performed very well with its past cameras. It's because they were able to control the software and the hardware side. No one else can really do that to the extent that Apple can. And that's why they were able to get away with like an 8 megapixel camera for so long. With even that camera could still shoot superior photos despite having a lower megapixel count. So, we'll see.
All right, sidebar.
Yeah.
Anybody know about the Android N release date?
Nougat?
No. Nougats. No, I don't know.
No nougats.
Nothing, huh?
Sorry.
What are your thoughts on the new rumored home button on the iPhone? Or maybe
the
lack thereof?
Well, it's not a lack of a button. I think it's the lack of a physical button. It'll turn into it's like that. What's the Force Touch screen on your Apple Watch?
Yeah,
or,
Force Touch.
Yeah.
Oh, you're thinking of the word haptic?
The
It's a
haptic. Sorry, it's the haptic. Yes, the haptic feedback. You know, it's not an actual physical button. It's a, I think it's gonna be like a flat.
Yeah,
Surface
I for
that-
one welcome it because I touch my home button so often that I end up messing it up after 2 years.
Well, that's the thing. That's the part that I feel like it breaks the most easily. And
Yeah.
So eliminating that moving part is, it's a pretty big deal. But it kind of reminds me of when
I
BlackBerry.
wouldn't call it a big deal.
Well, it's a big deal from, I guess, a supplier or a parts perspective. But
Sure.
it reminds me of when BlackBerry removed the little ball, the pearl,
oh yeah,
from their phones, and they switched to a little touchpad.
it's always about BlackBerry with
Yeah, I know. Still, I can't get over those guys.
you. Wait a minute,
Can't-
so that was a big deal. They made a.
Well,
They
it
were
was a
like, we're
big-
getting rid of this thing.
It was they made it a big deal, but it was more of a big deal from a like a customer satisfaction perspective. Like it broke down a lot less. That's the thing. Like,
What did they replace it with?
It was like a small touchpad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Tiny little touchpad.
Cool.
Yeah. Although it made playing Brick Breaker really hard. So there's that.
So we're like 3 weeks away. We got a new iPhone 7 coming before the holiday season. How do you think it's going to hold up in the Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, solstice gift season?
Oh, it'll do well. It doesn't matter.
Is this a good strategy?
What? Having it out before the season?
Silly question.
Yes, it is.
They've been
It's a very
doing
good
it-
question.
Yeah, they've been doing
It's
it
worked
for
out really
years.
well for them the last couple of years.
It'll
so.
sell really well, obviously, but we will be rating it up against previous iPhone sales, and it'll be interesting to see if it does as well as the other ones.
Yeah.
It'll be rated up against the 6.
Theor-
and those
yeah,
numbers are bonkers.
theoretically, it should do better than last year's model, which is an S, and the S models always tend to do a little bit less than the whole new version. But this one is supposed to be like another S, so we'll see. It like totally breaks the rhythm of what we're expecting.
Here we
Yeah.
go. Will the iPhone be compatible with the pencil?
Oh, that's a good
I
question.
highly doubt it.
I don't
Are
know.
they still
Really
making
don't
pencil?
think-
I
are
honestly-
they still making pencil?
I
I
honestly
don't know.
That might be.
course they are.
They could theoretically for the Plus, right?
No way.
No.
No, they'll get knocked for being too much like Samsung and the Note, and they
Well, it could
always
compa-
want
I
to
mean,
differentiate.
It could be compatible. It doesn't necessarily mean like it's an accessory that's sold with it.
I don't see it happening. But, okay,
All right,
whatever.
I'll take that bet.
Maybe. Okay, fine. $1. $1
All
on that.
All right.
Let's do a plug on episode 100. We've been talking it up for the past couple
we
weeks.
have been.
So this is episode 99.
Oh my god!
And then tomorrow we're going to be doing episode 100.
Unless they fire us right now.
Yes, which wouldn't be so bad. I could go home, be with my family. It would be really wonderful.
Oh, don't make it wholesome.
I know. What the hell?
But yeah, we're going to do a special episode. We'll keep it secret for now.
Yeah,
and then you guys
because it might not happen.
Right, depending on various factors.
Yes, but you should definitely tune in.
We might be on YouTube. We might be on Facebook. You'll
have to keep them both open and find out.
But it promises to be a unique experience.
It will be my first 100th podcast episode.
Definitely.
Ever, so.
Really? Come on.
I haven't done one of these before. If you couldn't already tell.
Neither have I. But yeah, let's wrap things up there. Unless there's any last scintillating questions we want to answer.
No, I think we all just kind of forgot about the Apple Pencil now.
Got it.
Cool.
All right.
All
cool.
Right.
Well, if you liked anything you saw or heard here, check us out on CNET. Our podcast is also available on iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, FeedBurner, or TuneIn. And see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Big 100th episode.
Look at you. You're so excited.
So excited. Oh my God. I'm pumped. All right. See y'all tomorrow.
I almost fell off my chair. Okay.
That's how excited we are.